What's up, you guys? Let me take that away. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if I want to came up today. All right. So yeah, we're talking about the situation that went down. I'm gonna pull up some videos today. Shout out to Ivy Ravine who showed me how to do this. I'm gonna pull up some videos. 1 second. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments as I get this ready. Oh no. Why, Lord? Did I just read that correctly? Okay. I'm about to play this. I'm about to share my screen, y'all. I'm pissed. Nosy. Okay, let me pause that. And this is my first time watching this video, so it's gonna be a live reaction. Let's see. Damn it, I thought I was gonna do a discussion about how Malia left. And I'm seeing that she came back. Alright, let's see. Share. Oh, let me stop this. This is annoying. Okay, share screen. Oh my gosh.
Not recognizing me for the things that I, because of course I did it a couple times.
All day, and that I don't care about you. How ungrateful was that comment?
It was an ungrateful comment.
Why?
I was, because you give me, you feed me, you put clothes on my back, put a roof over my head.
That's it?
You give me divine knowledge yourself. Of course,
That's
that's
it?
the number one thing. And
That's it?
you're my guide, my teacher.
That's it.
No, you.
So me not, no, let me get this straight. Because it sounds like you're not speaking from your heart, that you're just saying shit. What I'm saying to you is this. Relax, sit on the chair, sit on the chair. Get her a chair.
So you said I wasn't speaking from my heart in terms of what?
So you think you could do that to your family and get away with it?
I know it's going to be consequences. That's why I sat there in that seat at the bus station for so long. Because I don't know exactly what it would be, but I know the consequences. So I had to process that. So that's what I was doing. I was processing what happened there and then what happened here.
In the moment, you was willing to throw my life away, everyone here's life away. Jaomi is a baby who needs his mother. He needs shelter. You was willing to throw his life away, throw my life away, my legacy, and everything that I stand for, to embarrass me in front of the white man.
In a moment, yeah, it's fucked up.
And you ran to the white man. I'm not saying the white, I'm talking about to the system. Because you know it's either us or it's them. And I'm not talking about all white people, and I'm not racist. I'm just saying that this world we live in is a white man's world. And I say the white man as the government because he's the head of the government. And it's not that he's bad or anything. He's doing the best he can to survive as well. I don't have nothing against anybody like that. I'm saying is that you my woman. You're a black woman, you're my property. What gives you the right to make a scene like that in front of these government, knowing that these laws are set up to put me in prison?
Because I wasn't thinking in the moment. And not thinking in the moment can cause and lead to.
But how do I know that's not going to happen again?
Okay. I don't got time. I'm sorry. If you want to check this out, please go to Nosy Bitch TV. Her this is the channel I really enjoy going to. She posts it. You can also go to the T and watch it. I'm not going to sit here and watch all of it. I might have to break it down and do some commentary as I watch it because I can't take the breakdown of another human being by this demonic source. So I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I'm one of those people who or channels that just plays it and it makes it available to you to make your own judgment. I'm going to make my judgment. You can agree or disagree. Um, it's an open platform to agree or disagree. So what I knew, we all knew that there was a strong possibility that Tinisha would go back, simply because her programming was so long. She went through this programming for so long. The abuse, the physical abuse, it became normal. She went through the psychological abuse. It became a part of her everyday thinking. And as you saw, they they gang jumped her, which is common in these types of cults. Um, and part of the ganging and the jumping is to keep them, is to remind them that they are not individuals, to remind them that they are a collective, and if you go against the collective, then you will get dealt with. They also invoke fear that she is going to die. She will literally be murdered if she does not do or come back. Okay, you have to. You know what? I'm gonna drop the link because if you want to share your thoughts, you can share your thoughts. Let me see. This is what's happening. We get really angry. We get upset at Tanisha, and I'm not disappointed because I knew this was coming. I did not know it would come so soon. I thought it would at least be a week, at least a week, um, where she made it out on her own. But I give her credit; it was the longest she's ever been gone. Which was it? A day? A day? The longest she's ever been gone. And that's one step in the right direction. One giant step in the right direction. Grand Rising, Mavic. I just subscribed to you. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So when I'm on Nosy's channel, we have a lot of fun. But when you're here, we like to analyze. We have fun too. but we also analyze what is happening, and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. Um, yeah, I think I can't remember the last live I did on them. Oh, thank you. Anyway, so you're welcome to come up. The link isn't here. Um, so I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna stop it, and I need you guys to participate so that we can have a real dialogue about what can. Obviously, there's nothing we can do. We can't make this young lady decide to fight back. We can't make this woman decide to realize that this is a cult. She's in a cult, a sex cult, by led by someone who truly hates her. He does. He despises this young woman. He used her as a venge against someone he admires a little bit more, Velvet. Um, and so he's going to continue to break her down. He's breaking her down right now. Um, you'll see the women are going to. This is a repeat. For those who think this is a storyline, this is what makes it a storyline, or supposedly a storyline, because he's repeating his issues, his what they would call generational curses, his demons. He's repeating the cycles of abuse from him, but he's doing it to every woman, and he's doing it um with the intent on hurting the woman before her, whoever that is. He used Velvet to hurt Yaya. He used Yaya to hurt um Pocahontas. He used Pocahontas to hurt Maisha. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. And that is why it feels like a storyline, because it's never ending and it repeats and repeats and repeats. Okay. Yes. Chat me up. Chat me up. Welcome, 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 BX. Listen, BX. On this channel, you can literally say that, and if you want to express why you feel that way in the chat or come up, that's all good. I have my opinion, but that doesn't stop you from having yours or sharing yours. I would love to hear why people think this is a storyline. I would love to hear it. Unfortunately for me, I got to talk to people who know some of the women who have gone to carbonation, who have joined this situation. I've talked to um, I've talked to people who experienced this firsthand, and I know that it is not a storyline because of that. Is it being made into a storyline by the person who's running the cult? Probably, absolutely. What's up? What's up, Miss Double? A white man owns a house. You know what's funny? I'm so glad you said that. Oh my God, can I put this? Let me put this up for you. So, Miss Double, when they were out, right, and Eligio was trying to explain why he was trying to excuse what had happened, and the woman was complaining about the noise, right? The white male who was next to her, one of the neighbors, um, they were asking, you don't know the rules of renting? You got to learn the rules of our complex, of our this little section. And part of the rules is not having obscenely loud music. And the guy says, you own that? He knew the answer to that question, but he just asked him, right? He asked Eligio if he owned it. Eligio lied and said yes. He lied and said yes. And so the neighbor said the owner's name. He said, "Oh, so you bought it from whatever, whatever, whoever this person is." Put a one in the chat if you want me to pull it up. I can pull that up for you. If it's not that serious, I won't pull it up. But he actually said the person's name. And so if you guys really want it to be effective, even if we cannot get the members to leave, we can't get them to leave, right? Their programming is so embedded. The amount of therapy they're going to need in order to truly see what is happening to them, the wrongs that are occurring to done to them, um, they're just not going to see it right now, and it's just years and years and years of corrective therapy. But what we can do is we can keep shifting them from place to place to place, and maybe some of them will get tired of the inconsistency of home living situation. They can't go to the tropics. That's why a lot of people have left already, because thanks to all the hard work of all these other channel holders, um, regardless of how you feel about them, and the people who have called authorities, they had to leave the tropics, right? They left all those Latin American countries. They got kicked out of Puerto Rico. I don't know how you get kicked out of Puerto Rico. You got kicked out of Puerto Rico. They got kicked out of Hawaii, which are United States territories. And so what's happening is a lot of people who believed in the idea of going closer to, quote unquote, the sun, going closer, right, to the sun, realize that they can't do that in that environment because he's always getting kicked out of places. So what we can do, for those who want to, is is reach out to the people where they live. If you look at one of my videos in the past, I reached out to the Airbnb where he was staying. Many other people have reached out to Airbnbs and gotten them evicted from those other Airbnbs. If this is all entertainment for you, to you, um, I don't know. There's nothing you can really do but flood the comments. When you see Tinisha or any of these other members and they have the device in their hand, flood it with love. Because remember, they're programmed to believe that all of us hate them. They're programmed to believe that all of us despise them. We're their devils, their demons. We hate, we don't like them. We want them to not exist, or we want to go against them, and they have no comfort in us. So flood them with love. That's what I say. I would love to hear a difference of opinion. That don't mean I'm not gonna, have a healthy debate, but I would love to hear what you guys think. I'm gonna finish playing this a little bit more. Um, Please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share if you can.
And ain't I putting my own self and what I'm standing for in jeopardy at this point? Because if you was to do that again in a certain situation and something actually happened bad, it'll be my own fault.
I would say that I need to have an outlet because I'll be having things to say, but it don't be good because it'll be in a moment where it's
I understand you need an outlet, Leah. You have an outlet. We all get our outlet eventually. The universe is not going to let you not have an outlet. What I'm saying is that when you don't get your way, you can't try to destroy what we built because you don't get your way in a moment. And that was something so petty.
it was very very.
That was so petty, Malia. And I told you, like, you, Velvet, all of y'all do this, and it's not because I'm a bad person. It's y'all do it because y'all can't get enough of my attention, and y'all fighting for my attention. And if you can't get it all, you don't want none at all. And say if we had a child together, Malia, you watch Velvet in the middle of Panama take my daughter 3 in the morning and try to walk down a mountain, and then say I was trying to hold her hostage and wouldn't let her go And she started huffing and puffing and calling the cops because I wouldn't let her go outside with my daughter strapped to her going down a mountain in the middle of Panama, and I ain't know what the fuck was. But it can't be at the expense of me, because it's the same thing Velvet did. Okay. Well.
Action to not getting what I feel like I wanted in a moment. And it was solely based on insecurity of not getting attention from Bree, of him not recognizing me for the things that I do. And so I got triggered by that.
Sorry, y'all. I had a malfunction. I'm curious to know. Maybe you said they can't be victims if they keep going back. All right, I got a video for y'all. You said they can't be victims if they go back. Has anyone in the chat ever been a victim of domestic violence, male or female? Let's see. I don't know why my YouTube is acting janky. YouTube. I have a video. See, because what people don't understand is, it's not okay. We have to remember that they're not going back to a normal relationship. They're going back to a relationship with someone who's narcissistic. And I don't think y'all understand. Let me see. I have a playlist of videos that I want you to watch for later. Let me see. Come on. Okay, here we go. This guy was weird. I don't know if I want to play that one. All right. All right. Share.
And I'll just tell them it's mud.
So many survivors have said to me, my narcissist just won't leave me alone. They finally get out of the relationship, or the narcissist even discards them and they're finally ready to move on. And that's about the time the narcissist really digs in on that Hoover. So today at queenbeing.com, we're going to talk about exactly why that happens, what the Hoover's all about, and why the narcissist just won't leave you alone sometimes. So let's get started. Closed captioning provided by Athena Moberg and CPTSDFoundation.org. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So often people tell me I'm so stressed out because as I'm trying to heal, the narcissist just won't stop bothering me. They won't seem to let me go. Why won't they let me go? Well, I've addressed this in a previous video, so I'm going to share a little bit of that with you right now. Take a look. Most likely you already know what to expect if you broke up with a narcissist recently, but if you're considering doing it, here are a couple of quick things for you. If the narcissist is the person who breaks off the relationship, you can fully expect that it's going to feel brutal and sudden and you're not going to know what to do with yourself. Now, if you're in this situation right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. 1 minute you thought everything was fine. Your partner was like, you're everything I've ever wanted. seems perfect. And then next thing you know, you're wondering what the hell happened and where did this come from? That's because narcissists are really good at sort of playing a part as they're in the relationship with you. But once they've finished with using you for what you're good for, so to speak, they don't really care if they toss you aside like a tissue, right? At the same time, they still want to hold on to you as often and as long as possible. What if you're the one to break up with the narcissist? What happens then? First of all, if you've done that, congratulations, because I know how hard it is personally. Secondly, you can expect them to beg and plead and fight and stalk and freak out on you until you agree to take them back or until they get bored and move on to a new supply. They'll promise to change everything. They might suddenly start doing stuff for you that they never did before.
That's the part I wanted you to hear. How much do you want to bet? So okay, so think about this. Maybeck, he takes their phones, and remember, this is all conditioning, so it kind of happens over time. Malia's been there for some time now, so they're not allowed to have their own phones unless they're in his presence. So they're not allowed to communicate with family members. They're told that family members are bad and they're the outside. They're not their family. They are told that there's nothing outside of him and in his space. And so they live like that. They can't eat unless they get permission to. So they develop what's called patterns or habits. And what happens is, once you develop a habit of doing things, it is extremely hard to break the habit. Imagine whatever habit you have, throughout your life. I don't know, maybe you smoke cigarettes. And that's a good example because cigarettes are an addictive habit. And so being with a narcissist is a very addictive habit. That's what it's like. And one day you decide, you know what? I am tired of smoking cigarettes. I'm going to quit. Today is the last damn day. What happens? A day, 2 days, sometimes a week after you decide to quit smoking cigarettes? Someone tell me what happens. Maybe. Can you tell me what happens? And I'm gonna see if anybody if anybody got the answer. I mean, obviously you have the answer, but I want to hear you say it. What happens? Let's see if y'all are really thinking cognitively. Let's see if you're thinking with empathetic, what do you call those? The little little zappers, right? Let's see if we're thinking from an empathetic perspective. What happens? What happens? Well, we know what happens. You go back to smoking. You say, damn, I tried. Sometimes you can even go a month. But then you go back to smoking. Unless you are truly, and I mean truly, self-disciplined. The majority of people who have bad habits or habits that they want to break struggle several times before they actually break those habits. That is what it's like being with a narcissist. And so, and I know it's because this is not your particular bad habit. It's hard to understand why people like Tinisha and these other women and these other men stay or come back. It's very difficult to understand unless you yourself have struggled to break a bad habit or to break a habit that you no longer want. And that is what's happening. Remember, sex is so it's one of those things where it can become an addictive agent because of the chemicals that it releases within your body. And you have to remember, he's having intercourse with them, or her in particular. Nateri said it. He's having intercourse with her the most. So he's creating those attachments, those bonds with her the most. He's creating those mental attachments. When he pries and picks and tries to figure out what makes them afraid, what makes them, their fears, the things that makes them joyous. He plays on them. The world is going to end. What if somebody telling me the world is going to end, and I believe that the world is going to end, and they tell me the only way to survive. I mean, this sounds far-fetched to us because we haven't been brainwashed. We don't, our minds are not already weak. But for those whose minds are already weak, if somebody tells you the world's going to end and the only way to survive is to be with me because I am God, and you truly believe that, do you think it is a smart decision to leave? Think about Christians, think about Muslims, think about Buddhists. They devote themselves, their lives, to what they believe in. They devote themselves. There are people who are abstinent. They have decided not to have intercourse with anyone, to build intimate relationships with anyone, to get closer to what they believe as the source of all. And unfortunately, in this case, they believe that this individual, this man, is the source to all life. He's the leader to a promised land. None of these things separately seem far-fetched because we see these things every day in religion. We see them all the time. The problem is it good? Is it for good or is it for bad? And I use those terms loosely. Is it to hurt people or is it to truly heal and help? Is it for selfish purposes or is it for selflessness? And he's using all of those techniques, the psychiatrists and psychologists and magicians use. But he's using it for selfishness and to hurt others for his benefit. That is the problem. And you won't see Tinisha, you won't see Malia become Tinisha again probably for a while. The same way it took Velvet a while. This man harbors a strong disdain for people who leave them. Narcissists, as you heard, they don't like to lose you. I guarantee you, he was messaging her some way, getting in contact with her. Remember, he's with them 24 hours a day. Have you ever been with a partner 24 hours a day? At some point, you got to have a break, right? You're like, I got to get away from this person. I can't look at this person's face every day, all day. They're with him every single day, all day. And so there are so many elements and so many levels to the control that the moment they leave, everything shatters. Everything. Now they're in this world with all of these evil demons, right? Because they've been programmed to believe that. They're in the world with the white man who just wants to destroy the black family. And so they thinking about, okay, well, no one can please me the way he can because he tells me this all the time, day in and day out. And where I'm going to eat. This man took care of me for 2 and 3 years. How am I going to feed myself? They don't even know how to feed themselves. They don't even know how to eat because they've been programmed to not even eat. They've been told you can't do anything until I give you permission for what I think the shortest stay for, I think, is Zoka. Is it Zoka? No, it's not Zoka. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Zoka. And she's been here for what? Almost 2 years, 3 years. So keep that in mind. All right. Let me while I'm here on my YouTube again, I'm going to try and find the video. Give me 1 second. Let's see. I don't know why YouTube is lower. I'm just really upset that Malia left. Came back. What? It's part of that process. Okay. All right. I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit because I'm sure most of you have already seen this. Ivy, what's up? Ivy, please. Okay, so if y'all see in the comments, Ivy Revined, that is my go-to when I really want to understand what is happening with this situation. She is a codependency recovery coach, and she's had her personal experience with a narcissist, as well as she helps heal others who have are trying to relieve themselves of the toxicity of a narcissist. So yeah, and Ivy, I just showed the clip of the person who was in your coaching course with you, and so now I'm about to just finish showing some of this clip. I'm trying to get through it. Trying. Let's see. All right. Share.
Tell her to her back. She's good. Tell her to. Did you listen to me?
The girl that's
Yeah.
turn your volume down.
Feel free to come up whenever you want.
So hard not to listen. That's a bad habit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm trying to see who's talking. Oh, because she ended it. Okay. You can go ahead with your question.
Well, my name is Brittany. I'm from Houston. And I was just wondering, like, have y'all forgave Malia? Like, do you think you will forgive her? Like,
It's gotta. Yeah, but it's not about forgiving Malia because we love Malia. It's the actions that we can't we can't we can forgive it, but we can't forget it. We can't continue to. If you get a cold, your body creates antibodies for the cold, so that it's used to and understands
More
what to do
beer.
next
What's
time
up,
the cold
mama?
comes.
I'm waiting for you to come up
We got to be
too.
intelligent. We can't just set ourselves up like the girl said before. Like we got to know Malia ain't gonna do no shit like that to put us in jeopardy again, bro.
I don't think she would. I think she really down out of anybody. She's down. Like, Malia loves y'all. And she definitely came back for a reason. And if she wanted to put y'all, she could have went and did anything. She could have went on live and told you like everybody else. But she came back. She wanted to do that. And I don't think she's going to do it again, especially that she's going through what she's going to do now. I can see this genuine. That, I think she's still battling with her demons. But I definitely think that she really want to be there and she don't want to do it again. Because who want to go through this? She's going through it. She's just get it. You know what I mean? Nobody want to deal with that. It's hurtful.
They don't know how many times I did it. So that's what makes it.
Go ahead, get a hit. Let her hit the blood. Let her hit the blood. Where she at? Let her hit the blood. Let me hit the blood too. It's been a long day. She said, let me hit the blood too. Peace pipe. Hit it with the peace pipe. Turn some music on. Lowly.
y'all know I have to pause it. I can't I cannot watch these videos too long. Number one, we see what he's known for, and that is humiliating them on screen, and kind of what is it called? Making it so people will discount what they're actually experiencing. He's making it as if, okay, it's just a relationship. We go in and we go out. And she comes back, she apologizes, and we go on and we love her, and everybody's hugging her. Remember, these are the same women who just jumped her. These are the same women who have reportedly jumped her many times before. Okay, whenever she tries to leave, this is not normal. This is not healthy. They do not love her. They do not care about her. And he's going to do what he does best. He's going to keep her in a very intoxicated state so that she is not able to process her thoughts. Ivy?
Yes, yes, yes. First of all, I want to say good morning, beautiful. How are you doing? Do you hear me? Hello?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay. Good morning, good morning. Yes. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. He will keep her in an intoxicated state. I think she's been in an intoxicated state for quite some time. That helps. He's smart, so he knows that helps regulates her emotions, and he spends a lot of time regulating her emotions. He has to, because that's part of her own emotional disorder. He often said that he's a he said recently he's a psychologist now. I'm thinking that he feels like this is empowering for him to watch, engage how she's feeling in in the moment. And even though he's smart, he doesn't even realize that she has the actual upper hand to his emotions too, because part of her disorder is to constantly keep him in a place of thought and worry as to where her mind is. And although it does not appear that it's bothering him, it does. Um, I've often said that she shows some patterns of borderline personality. I think we spoke about that offline as well. And with that disorder, they stay in critical state. They always have critical thoughts. So the way Malia mind works, everyone hates me, everyone dislikes me. This is the thoughts that she's always going to gravitate to.
I have a
Nobody.
question.
Hmm.
Is it possible that these thoughts are not necessarily due to whatever condition she has had prior to going, whatever situation she had mentally going, but it appears there's a pattern here. Every
Hmm.
single woman, Maisha has said it herself, that she developed insecurities. She started getting jealous. She began to question her own self when he was sleeping with men, when he was out here sleeping with other women. Is it possible that some of these issues or most of these issues she's having are developed because of the extent of the abuse?
Yeah, but it's also because these are the type of people she's going to gravitate to also because of her early childhood traumas. So if it's not Nature Boy, it's going to be somebody else. That's part of the trauma bonding. Part of the trauma bonding when you have not learned about your patterns of behaviors due to your childhood wounds, you gravitate towards men like Nature Boy. She said in her past, she ran from relationships, toxic relationships. She puts herself into toxic relationships. This is unconsciously. We gravitate when you have childhood wounds, you gravitate towards men who make you feel alive. The reason why they make you feel alive is because of that trauma bond. The reason why you have that trauma bond is because they're just as toxic as you are. And then you develop this toxic pattern of behavior in the relationship where you become very addicted to each other. Then there's this vicious cycle of critical thoughts that you'll both have while you're with one another. And that person is the source of your triggers. She says it all the time. You trigger me, you trigger me, you trigger me. He's going to continue to trigger her, trigger her, trigger her. And guess what? She's going to continue to trigger him, trigger him, trigger him. That's part of the trauma bonding. It comes with the package deal, right? So it's part of the addiction. It's part of the love addiction. Love
What do you
addiction is
say to
real.
people like Maybach? Shout out to Maybach. What do you say to
Um,
people like Maybach who feel like this is a storyline, or who feel like these women not deserve what they get, but no one should feel sorry for them because they put themselves in this situation?
hmm I would say to Maybach, I get it. Um, I don't. I mean, here's maybe I have a different perception than Maybach do, right?
Right.
Because my approach would be more clinical. Why is my approach more clinical? Because I've come from that. I come from that. Um, that reality. I've been in those situations. I would have been devastated knowing it, that the kind of person that I am, and knowing that I still got a good heart. But I don't know why I'm in these toxic relationships. But
Mhm.
it's people who were patient with me, who helped me, became my support system and helped me out of those toxic relationships. I'm a much better person now. But then you sort of start to feel less compassionate for people like Malia, who goes back and and has the opportunity to get out, but goes back again. You start to get desensitized to the fact that they might actually have a problem. So yeah, I can understand when people say, well, this is what they're doing, it's a part of a storyline. Absolutely. Keep in mind, it is highly likely that all of this could be scripted. Highly likely. Let me tell you why. The narcissist, the way the narcissist thinks, they're always thinking of a storyline. Every narcissist around the world, they're thinking of a storyline. Their mind is always going. If you notice, Nature Boy gets very little sleep. He's up in wee hours of the morning. He's regurgitating all kinds of talking points. And while he's doing that, his mind is going off a million miles an hour, thinking of different angles to enter into to get more and more supply. It's about the views for him. It's about the people who's watching. And so don't be surprised if you're sitting around these women one day and he's saying, ooh, it would be a great idea. Let's all just, we're going to, Malia's going to be the star of this show today. We're going to create this scene. She's going to storm out. Don't be surprised if that happened. I would not be surprised at all if that happened.
I would
You
also
understand?
I would interject and also say, don't be surprised if the storyline is in his head alone.
Yes, absolutely. Also, because absolutely, I love that you say that, because they can very much so manipulate people for that storyline as well. And you don't even know that you're part of the script, right? But because they have the power to manipulate people, they will create narratives, and people will act accordingly because they know how people's going to react, right? They know you well. They get down into your psychic. Part of that cold empathy is to know your childhood wound. They know your childhood wound and see your childhood wound clearly. And sometimes they even know theirs, but theirs are irrelevant. Yours is relevant to their narrative. I'm going to figure out how you tick, and I'm going to trigger you. You're going to act accordingly, and I'm going to record you in a moment so that I get views and that
That's
people
right.
can see that you're crazy and not
That's right.
me. And now I am the victim. That's how it works.
If you remember, and I like to use this as an example because this is the only inside we have to seeing how a narcissist thinks, really. Um, Other than what's his name, uh, Donald Trump's Twitter account. This is the what we have to kind of understand what they're doing, how they do it, how they manipulate people, how they use people. Um, and I was looking at um the video of when when Malia was getting pummeled by the other women, And one of the things they kept saying were, he gives you more attention. He gives you all the attention. Um, you should be more grateful. You should be more grateful of what he does for you. And I thought that was interesting because this man brags about all the sex he has and how good he is in the sex, right?
Right.
And then it comes out, thanks to the Terry, it comes out that hardly anybody's in any sex.
You're right. Well, let's be clear. The narcissist is not having sex for your pleasure, and he's actually not even having sex for his pleasure. The narcissist don't have sex for pleasure. The narcissist is it's the act of self. So it's like I am doing an act where I am pulling a person into um my own what you call the forced fantasy, right?
Right.
If I act out in a way, they use sex as a chip or bargaining chip, right? So they will have sex with women, especially women who are insecure and women who are guided by the flesh. So women who are usually women like Malia, who I've said is quite borderline personality, or codependent women who have love addictions, or inverted narcissistic women who are enamored by the narcissist. He knows these women are going to become stigmatized by them. He knows that. So the act of having sex is he used as the bargaining chip. So what happens is he will use it, he would do it occasionally, and the women enjoy the experience, but then he will withhold it as well and only use it as the bargaining chip to get women to, when they're falling out of line, so then he use it to get them to fall back in line, right? So the sex become a bargaining chip. So the narcissist doesn't actually have sex for the enjoyment of it all. It's used transactionally, like
Right.
everything they do in life. You understand? Everything is transactional. Sex is transactional for
Is
them.
there anything that he gets enjoyment out of? Is there anything that really, because to me, this man seems miserable as fuck. I never seen nobody this miserable. So
Yes.
there's nothing that will make him happy. If Velvet came back, he would still be miserable.
Yeah. I tell you what, the only thing that makes him happy is his views. Do you understand that supply is the biggest orgasm for a narcissist? Supply. And supply is the attention that he gets. He actually
Mm,
thoroughly enjoys when something happens,
mm.
like a scene happens, and it happens so organically, and that that everybody starts to gravitate towards his page. So he knows, he watches his numbers dwindle down. It puts him in a state where he's mortified by that. He's like, okay, I'm not as popular as I used to be. And then something happens. Now he gets to run the show, right? So he gets to animate himself. He gets to wear the big cheap hats and talk about how he's been victimized his entire life, and that women, are created as devils to go against the man. And he gets to put on his show and his animation. And that is the biggest orgasm for him at the end of the day. Trust me when I tell you, he went to bed feeling good. He went to bed feeling good because something happened and all eyes were on him. So the narcissist's main goal in life is supply, and that's their biggest orgasm. And they use people as the tools for that. And everybody become really attached to him, and he gets to move them around as pawns to get more and more people to gravitate towards him. So the more attention he gets, the more adulation he gets, the more admiration he gets, the more people watch, whether good, bad, or indifferent, but they watch. Is really his biggest form of pleasure. This is his biggest form of pleasure.
Mm.
Yeah. You want to see him, if you ever want to see a man like that unravel and completely lose it, stop watching them. That's when they lose their mind. When they're left with nothing but themselves and their thoughts, that's when the reality sets in, and that's when they feel like they've really lost. Other than that, they don't feel like they're ever losing.
Hey, Yemi, what's up? What's up?
Hey,
Yemi in the
Yemi.
building.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, just I mean, I got very little to watch. I mean, I got a couple of emails myself because I don't watch them anymore. And some people, asked me to watch it. I did a little bit of it, but I mean, I'm not surprised as to what happened. So I just wanted to come up and add a little bit of commentary about that with you, sis, and support.
Thank you. Please stay. I'm about to play a little bit more. You know, I love your thoughts, man.
You got it.
He's different. He's different. You got the purple shit on, the purple do rag on. Okay. Yo. How you feel about that?
I'm about to get her some water. That's how I feel about it. I want to get her some clothes.
Come on, come in the kitchen.
Right, you gotta look at it.
Keep the music low. What? Yeah. Go ahead. Everybody blaze up. Blaze a whole jar. Here, come on, Malia. Yeah. Yeah.
Good morning, guys. As y'all know, I'm getting ready for work.
No, it's too much. But I'm glad she stopped it there. Her particular live, because look at Malia's face. What is she saying right now? I mean, it's on her face. What is she saying?
I mean, there's really no telling what's going through her head at this point. I mean, I think she's soaking in the attention that she's getting right now. You know, people like women like Malia really have a very childlike thought process, right? Think of a child who sulks, a baby who sulks, right? Like who when you take their toy away, it's like nobody loves me, right? They'll think in that childlike state. It's like nobody loves me, nobody loves me. And then you give the toy back and it's like, oh, I'm happy now. I'm happy with the world. I'm happy again. Children children are very needy for attention and love. So I want people to recognize that they're watching a group of people with emotional disorders. You understand? And they all gravitated towards each other in this space. It's like a social
Right.
experiment. Imagine imagine watching a man with, I don't know if anybody ever had family on the spectrum. And they're adults, but then they get to live by themselves, and maybe they might end up with a girlfriend who's also on the spectrum, right? So people by looking at them in hindsight, you might think that they don't have a problem, but then if you walked in their home, you realize that they're a little special, right? They're a little special. And this is what you're
Right.
watching. You're watching people who you saying there's nothing wrong with them, right? Because they're intelligent and they speak knowledge and all this. Yeah, but they're suffering. They're suffering from disorders of the emotion, disorders of self, and all these other things. They're all gravitated to each other in this space where they are. So you're watching grown people with the emotional capacity of roughly 13, 14, and 15 years old.
Right.
You're watching a
And
group
that
of
one,
people.
that thing right there is 100% 14. Nobody
Yes,
can tell me. I've worked with 14-year-olds. I know
yes,
a 14-year-old when I see one. Okay,
yes,
that man, that so-called man who's
yes,
handing her the joint that she clearly is telling us that she doesn't want. She's telling him she doesn't want it, but she can't say it because she just walked herself back in there.
right, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know how to drive this baby home for people to get it, right? Because people get so triggered by this. And I'm like, don't get triggered. Why attach yourself to this emotionally? Right? Tap out. Because what you're watching is a group of babies in this, in physically, yes, physically 20s and their 30s and 40s. But emotionally, you're watching a group of teenagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're watching a group of children. They don't even know how to act in public, right? So I watched the part where they're acting a fool in his house. The neighbors are unhinged, right? And they're constantly hearing noise. What do you think would happen if you put a group of seven, anywhere between 10 to 12, 13 teenagers in a house? You're going to hear music. You're going to hear
All
smell
kinds of
smoke. You're going to
Yep.
smell marijuana. You're going to hear loud music and fighting. You're going to hear, probably loud sexual things. You don't know what's happening in those homes. Somebody got to get in there and break it up, because that's what teenagers would do if you leave them to their own devices, right?
That's right.
So you're watching a group of kids, and yes, they're adults, but they're kids emotionally. So I try to get people to see it in that aspect so that they could start to detach themselves from this emotionally and move on with their lives. They're not going to seek the help that they need, because the person that they're idolizing and looking up to, he has the emotional capacity of a 13, 14-year-old as well. Right? So what are we seeing here? This is not uncommon. It's actually common. It's just happening before our eyes because it's on social media, and
That's
we
right.
all found them in this space that we're in. It's
I want to
meant
show
to
the video
teach
of when
something.
I want to show the video of when he is trying to talk to the neighbors.
Ah,
This tells you everything you need to know
yes.
about the mental capacity in which he's able to think and to speak. Uh, I don't even know how to word this. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Uh-oh, somebody's coming up. Oh, Ivy left. What happened?
I'm sorry. That was me. My silly phone. My silly phone. Sorry about that.
Okay. Um, oops. And what do you think about Nateri as I look for this? I mean, as I get this on the screen, he asked
Okay.
her. Eligio asked her how she felt. Why do you think he asked her that? And what do you think her real thoughts are?
Well, what I mean, I didn't, like I said, I didn't see it all. So he asked her how she felt in the moment when Malia came back.
They was hugging just now.
Yeah. Well, Natiri's probably very disappointed, but don't get it twisted. Natiri has a goal in mind. And with her, she has more of an opportunistic spirit. It's like,
I
I'm
went
going
to
to, yeah, I'm gonna seize whatever moment I'm in, right? So probably in her mind, she's like, this is not my moment, but it will be. She's always looking for the opportunity. Um, and even if another opportunity comes up outside of NatureBoy, she'll take it. You understand? She's not, but that is part of her own disorder, you know. What I see in her is have a lot of similarities to codependency, but more on the narcissistic side, called inverted narcissism. And what they do is they look for grandiose men. They're attracted to grandiose men.
mm-hmm.
And so, I seen a part where he said she made very good choices in men. She was with that person. She was with that person. She was with that person. So what do these men have in common? They're grandiose. They're grandiose, right? They have this knowledge, whatever they feel knowledge is for them. And they boost about this information that they know, and they're very flashy. And she's attracted to that. So NatureBoy to her right now is the star of the moment for her. But if some other guy happens to pop along who seems bigger, and she can get to, and she can kind of entice, she will do it. She will do it. So right now she's looking for opportunity, and she's looking for a queen role, for whatever that means to her. You understand? She wants to be a queen of something, right? So she feels that she probably would have more of an opportunity to have that with NatureBoy. So I think that's her goal right now.
Uh, I don't want to play that video, but there's a video where he's scolding her, and in the middle of him scolding her, she asks to use the bathroom. And we know those women will hold their pee. In fact, they will pee on themselves before they get up while he's talking or scolding them. This
Right.
young woman asked him to go to the bathroom and proceeded to ask him several times until he eventually just gave in and let her use the bathroom. Y'all sleep on the Terry if you want to.
Right.
Okay?
You
She
picked it up. Yep.
Y'all thought Velvet was manipulative. You thought Velvet, wanted attention and to be whatever. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
These type of women put themselves. She put herself in that space for the sole purpose of being on top.
Yeah.
And that's why she went to TKO, because she thought TKO was going to give it to her. Nah, bruh. He,
That's
all right, let
right.
me push play. Why is this cat on me? Oh my god!
Most people
Put
continue to take
it
blood
down.
sugar medications because they've been brainwashed by the medical establishment to believe diabetes is a hereditary condition. Even though new studies are showing this to be completely false. If you or a loved one is suffering from diabetes, prediabetes, or high blood sugar levels, then
And that's just that. Period. Back to what we were doing. Come on. Anyway, I'm about to slide out. I'm gonna slide. Boom.
It's not my shoes.
Sorry about that, guys. Hey, how you doing? I'm your neighbor. I was shooting a documentary. Two of the girls got into it, and I apologize. And I understand. She screamed. She didn't get away. She didn't get away. She broke my property. She basically broke my property right there, smashed it and screamed. And I'm your neighbor. How you doing?
I know I'm doing bad. It's a lot of noise.
But I gave you my numbers.
It's a lot of noise during the night as well. Okay. Everything. It doesn't matter. It's. You see how everybody is quiet. Nobody is ever like. It's always like mosquitoes here.
Mosquitoes?
You can hear mosquitoes. Like it's so quiet.
Oh.
But it's like this. I thought somebody is getting killed.
No, I totally understand.
This is what like I was about to call 911.
No. What I'm telling you is that we gave you our number. We gave everybody a number. We told you that we're going to be shooting a documentary. We gave everybody in the neighborhood. I made sure I sent people
But
out.
I told you this is not commercial neighborhood. This is
I
residential neighborhood.
I understand.
You're not supposed to do music videos, movies, Airbnb.
On my property, I can shoot
no,
a music
you
video.
can't. It's not
Legally, I can do that. Can I not, sir?
They have.
I don't know. That's your property. Do you own that property?
Yeah.
Oh, you bought it from Swan?
No.
That's the part I wanted y'all to hear earlier. This man said, "Is that your property?" What was Alicia's response? He said, "Do you own that property?"
Mm-hmm.
Alicia
Right.
said, "Yeah," like a fucking child. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when the man called him out on it, he said, "So did you buy that property from Juan, whoever this person is?" I wish I could have heard the name clearer. See, he didn't know that the neighbor knew who the homeowner was.
That's right. That's right. I mean, if he think that anybody do believe that he owns a home, he's out of his mind. But I mean, but that's how they do, that's how they rock. They'll tell you what they want you to believe, and they expect you to believe that, and that's what it is. But um, no, and he's always going to run a risk of getting kicked out of wherever he is. He got a lot of people under one roof. And that's just not going to be conducive to whatever he needs to take all of that back to the woods somewhere because it's not going to work in a Georgia suburban area. It's not. Neighbors know neighbors. Um, People live in these areas for the peace and quiet, particularly for the peace and quiet. And he's bringing a lot of ruckus, and it's going to cause problems in the long run. I mean, I think we also seen that cops have been called a couple of times, but I mean, he's going to be any neighbor's worst nightmare because he get to hide under the guise of a so-called business and say that he's doing a documentary, and there's not much the law can do for that, due to him, or at this point nobody's pressing charges. So he get to run as much noise as he possibly can, unless he go against some kind of noise ordinance, which, I mean, yeah, the police can come and tell him to turn it down, but then he can just wait a couple of hours and turn it right back up. It's still not against the law. You understand? So he would be any neighbor's nightmare, especially ones who are looking for peace and quiet. So I feel sorry for the neighbors who have to deal with that all day.
Look
I
at
feel sorry
just
for them.
that's right. Look at
Yeah.
this competition.
Hmm.
What I'm saying to you is that I'm still living
This is
here.
the
I could
this is
shoot
the
a video
problem.
in
We
the
have
backyard if I
on
want to.
top of the rental agreement, there is also subdivision policies.
Right. And I'm and
And the subdivision policies, you cannot
what?
you cannot do movies here, any commercial activities, leasing the properties for any other reason but that living here.
Right. What I'm
And
telling
only people who
what I told the guy that I rent from that I was doing this, and he knows. And everybody knows. I gave everybody my number. I said if anything gets too loud, to call me. This is what I did.
I don't know. I don't have your number.
Hold on.
I don't have your number.
Hold on,
sir.
ma'am. Hold on. Let me get something, ma'am. I want you to know that first of all, I'm not meaning to harm or disturb anyone. This is why I did this way. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe my guys didn't give you my numbers. I told them to come here to give you the number to make sure that things got too loud. You would text me and I would turn things down because we knew that it would be loud because there was multiple people here. I did this prior. I let the owner know. I let everybody know this prior to what's going on. And I apologize to you and I understand this disturbance. This is just for my safety. You know what I'm saying? This is a video for me. So because the owner knows that I told him everything that was going to be happening. That's why he came by and said, just keep it a little lower. He came by because it was complaints. They called in, but I had let the owner know, and I gave numbers to all my neighbors to let them know if you had any, because obviously sound is different from this end than that end.
Yeah.
So I said, here's my number. If anything gets called, just send a text message, say it's a little too loud, and we'll turn it down for you because we realize we're in a quiet neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's simply what happened. Now, what happened with this girl is that I'm dealing with black people, and you know how we are. And I know what I'm saying to you is that every now and then you're gonna be an ignorant person. This is even
That's the part I wanted y'all to hear
Can you?
as well.
He a little low. Did he say something? Did he pull a black card?
Oh God, he black explained. He said, "You're dealing with black people.
Oh, God.
Sometimes you get a little ignorant."
Wow. Wow.
And that's why I try to bring my thoughts and the thoughts of others, critical thinking, to this show, when people are viewing and watching, because he's not only doing a disservice to the people in his space, but he's doing a disservice to the community at large. He's teaching men not to sign birth certificates of their children. He's teaching women to leave their children. He's um, he's teaching white people or people, non-black people, that this is the way we behave. He, in fact, um, uh, uh, he compared us to monkeys. Planet of the Apes is the example he gave. And this is on television where for many people to see. This is not your average narcissist in the sense that he has access to influence way more people.
It's really sad because when I think, this had me space out for a minute, and it really it it touched me in a way that you don't even understand. When I think about this could be potentially this could be Malia's son in the next 30 years.
Yep.
You see how that generational curse work?
Correct. Correct.
This could be Malia's son, right? You watching a man with all this power, right? It is he don't even have power really, but with all this influence at his cusp, and he can make a lot of people look bad just by his actions alone, only
Right.
because he had a mama who left him. He had a mommy who left him. This is a man.
He didn't even, and what's crazy is she left him in some of the most forgiving circumstances. She passed away.
He passed away. Right. Right. But see, that don't matter to the child, right? They just didn't have no one who hugged them. They whatever woman who could have came in their life and did right by them. You think about the adoptive mother who could have did right by him and took all of that away with a simple hug, some attention, some love, some kindness, kind words, you know, some encouragement. Women, hold your sons, hug them. You understand? Give some love because this will be your sons. Now, these men are teaching men to walk away. They're teaching men to walk away. They're telling men these women are not, ain't crap. No, we have the power, ladies. Don't let these men tell y'all that. Hold your children, hug your children, influence your children, encourage your children, instill in them confidence so that they don't become men like this or they don't become young women who fall for men like this. Do you understand? Because this what happens. One person can influence 20 in his surroundings, and
Mm-hmm.
they go out and they can influence 20 more. And do you
Mm-hmm.
understand what happens to a community that has that? It becomes detrimental. Right now it may look like nothing, but this can be something that really it can destroy us in 10 years, right?
And what
As a
people don't
community.
understand is you might not believe anything he's saying, but there are people who are now emboldened and empowered. The
Right.
same way Donald Trump emboldened half of the country.
Right. And then, he mentioned people, like he mentioned Kevin Samuels a couple of times. And
Yes,
I
he
said,
did. Yes,
well,
he
well,
did.
well, 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 well,
Yes,
am
he
I
did.
surprised
Yes, he
that he
did.
would feel that he would even gravitate towards Kevin Samuels' message? Absolutely, he would. You understand? But he's not only teaching men, just, he's showing men how to also treat women horribly
Yeah.
also, right? When you have he will he will pull the trigger on women, and when they act out accordingly in their emotions, right, and he pulls out of them their childhood wounds, he then says, see, this is the devil. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not the devil. This is a young girl who haven't healed from her childhood wounds that you're manipulating. You're manipulating the childhood wound in her constantly, over and over again. That's not the devil. The devil is the one who has the power to do that to her. She needs God. She needs healing, right? And people don't seem to understand that. So, these a lot of narcissists is on the social media. I'm telling people, watch it for what it is, because there's people behind the scenes who are really holding the strings to a lot of these things. Learn how to tap out. Get on with your natural life organically. Get out there. I'm telling people all the time, sit with the trees, turn off these people like this. Nature Boy, as long as he have views, he get empowered, he grows, and it gets worse and worse and worse every single time. So tap out of these people and just live. They will destroy themselves at their own time. They always do. They destroy themselves.
That's right. That's right. I'm probably gonna close you guys because I have to go out and sell my books. Because I tap out. I have to go sell my books and start my second book. Well, the draft.
I love
So
that. I love that. We should start saying what we're going to do when we get off of these, right? When we get off these social
Oh
media instead,
yes.
right? How do we tap out? What do we do after we tap out? And I'm talking about literally turn off your YouTube and go do something different,
Oh, okay.
right?
Put it in the chat, y'all. Put it in the chat.
There you
What are you
go.
planning on doing when you turn off this device?
There you go. See, I'm going to watch something funny. I'm going to turn on a little sitcom for the
Here you
next
gonna
few
do
hours. Yeah, okay. I'm going to watch a little Martin Lawrence for the next few hours, and then while I'm working, and then I'm going to go out and get my nails done. I don't know what anybody else is going to do, so y'all could put it in the chat. But I got to get my nails done today. Yes, ma'am.
Let me see. I'm trying to find. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I can't find it. I thought I saved it in my thing.
But good luck on selling the book, girl. I mean,
Thank you.
I'm gonna put it into the universe. I'm going to say roughly between 5 to 10 books for you today. Put it in the universe, manifest it. Okay, let's manifest
Yes.
it.
Let me
Okay,
tell you. I don't listen. Sometimes I stay out there until all five are sold. Okay.
there you
I
go.
have listen. And so it listen. It takes. Okay. Let me just say this to y'all. It takes me no more. I've not been out there longer than 2.5 hours and
Hmm.
sold any at least 5 books.
I like that.
Okay,
Okay. 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 Good. Good.
what you make depends on how much you sell your books for. So I'm not going to tell you how much you're going to make, but let me just say there are other means to making money. There are other ways to um building income, building wealth, and they're easier than you think. And they're definitely not going to happen as you sit and you watch other people train wreck.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I guess that would be my closing for the live is like Ivy Ravine said, take what we are watching as a grain of salt, and make sure that your life is being fulfilled and is growing and you are being successful the best way you can. If you want, you can subscribe to my other channel. It is Philly on a Budget. And I show people ways to save money here in Philadelphia or anywhere. You can apply it anywhere. But I do different things, and I'll be going on trips this summer, different places to show you that you can enjoy life on a budget for free, if not very cheap. Um, yeah, and I'm building another channel to show you guys what I do day to day, in terms of spending time with my children and selling my books. So check that out as well. I'll put it up later. I'll put that information up when I'm ready. Um, but start thinking about yourself. Start thinking about what successes you want to accomplish.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
I was about to say, Ivy, you got any last words for us?
You said it all. Get out there, enjoy the world, people. Don't let it pass you by. Okay, don't let it pass you by. You can come to my codependency awareness support group online. It's
Amen.
codependency awareness / recovery support. I drop jewels. I drop understanding of healing, how to move past the pain, how to discover your talents, your self-worth. And people are engaging. People want to know why. People are asking how. And I'm dropping tips. Move on, live your life, enjoy the people around you who love you the most.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
don't be afraid to meet new
Yes,
people.
ma'am.
All right, y'all. All right, Ivy, thank you so much for coming up, mamas, and sharing your thoughts and
Anytime.
your expertise. Thank you to those who are watching the live, for those who participated in the conversation within the chat. I appreciate y'all. I do.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Have a wonderful day. Peace.